Is it still blowing my nose? We've both been fighting colds the last couple of days. We were actually supposed to go out tonight and figured that
we better stay home.
we probably better not expose people to our
Sniffles
and dribbles, and not nice dribbling on people.
No.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Another great year, almost done. Woohoo!
We're not crazy.
No.
So what's going to happen here tonight is Phil's going to read something that I wrote way back when.
In the last century.
Yeah, way back when, before I knew Phil.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a life-changing event. I think what it was actually a vision, but I didn't know what a vision was. I'd never heard of people having visions, so I didn't know that was a thing. So, but anyway, the scene played out in my mind, and so, are you a slow connection? Are we okay? So anyway, it was life-changing. So Phil's going to read that, because if I read it, I'll bawl, I'll cry. So he's going to read it, and then I want to talk to you a little bit about it. So,
sorry, cat was wandering around my feet. So, all right. So Jan wrote this, and I'm going to try to read it so it'll make sense to everyone. The story virtually wrote itself as I lay suffering from a severe migraine, which she used to have like for her whole life. Every few days, it was pretty bad. Unable to rest, I got up and penned the following words. As I placed the last period on the last sentence, the migraine vanished. This typed version is virtually word for word from that experience. May it bless you all and continue it as it continues to bless me. Here I am, stuck in a thicket. Thorns and twisted branches imprison me. How long I have struggled here, I really don't know. Time seems to have lost its value. How I got here, I don't even remember. My consciousness is only aware of the branches, the thorns, the pain, and the loneliness. It seems almost unbearable, for I am so tangled that I cannot even lay my head down to rest. Is that voices I hear? Will I be rescued? Here I am, I'm over here. The voices are coming closer, and my hope is beginning to find a place in my heart again. From my entangled position, I cannot see feet coming closer. Several steps more, and they will be here, and I will be freed. A hand reaches out and draws back the thick branches. Dread turns my heart to stone and drives out the last trace of hope. It is the hirelings. Now even the sound of their voices deepen my despair. Their words I cannot perceive, but their meaning I comprehend. How did you get in this mess? How many times were you warned about this thicket? You look terrible. You're a mess. You should see yourself. On and on and on, the hurling contempt. If you are stupid enough to get in this mess, we caught you. We ought to leave you here to die. But we won't. It is our duty to bring you back to the fold. Lucky for you, we came along. Perhaps I should have felt grateful, but I just felt guilty. They began to pull and yank and jerk me out of there. The thorns embedded in my flesh tear away as they pull me towards the clearing. Each one of the hirelings suffers scratches from the thorns. Again, the hurling, scaling rebuke. Lift your foot, duck your head. Will you just go and be with this? Stop that crying. You are doing this. We are doing this for your own good. As the thicket has immobilized my body, so pain and suffering deny me the use of my limbs, while shame and guilt deny me the use of my tongue. I can only endure. At long last I find myself in the open meadow. Exhausted, breathing heavily, I try to blink the pain and fear from my mind. Wavering near the point of collapse, I try to gather strength for the trip back to the fold. A loud noise explodes from behind me, and the last ounce of energy I have, I run blindly towards the nearest cover, the thicket. Too late, I discover that the noise was the hirelings. They were trying to drive me away from the thicket towards the fold. I guess what they say is true. Sheep are stupid beasts. They are leaving now, talking among themselves how stupid I was and how I would not help myself and how I chose the thicket over the fold. They will show their wounds and recount their efforts to the rest of the flock. It is nearly nightfall. I do not want to be left here behind. Perhaps I should call them back and beg them to try once more. I cannot find my voice. They are gone. Perhaps I do deserve to die in this thicket. I had fallen asleep somehow. Perhaps I had lost consciousness. As my awareness returned to me, so also the pain, the fear, and the loneliness. Now it is very dark. My desire is to perish quickly. Has it been hours or minutes since I was last aware? Thirst now overtakes my conscious thoughts. I'm thirsty too. Between the branches of my tomb, I see flickering light. It disappears momentarily, and then returns. It is moving close, and just before I drift away again, I hear a voice. Then I return to hopelessness. Something stirs in my consciousness, and I discover the light to be very close. I hear a voice. I force myself to stay alert to hear what the voice is calling. There it is again, tender and gentle. The sound finally penetrates my exhaustion. He is calling again. He is calling my name. Did I actually cry out, or did I only dream that I did? The last sound I hear is footsteps, pounding footsteps. He is running. There is a lantern beside me, then I awaken. Cool water is washing away my pain and my suffering. My eyes focus upon his kind and gentle face. There is sorrow in his eyes, as if he feels very feels the very thorns buried in my flesh. He fills my hand with water again and again and again as I drink, and I'm refreshed. I am strengthened by the water and his presence. A joy enters his eyes, finding its way through my sorrow. He feels for my suffering. He perceives my renewed strength and gently and slowly begins to untangle the twisted branches and remove their thorns from my flesh. Not pulling or tearing, but tenderly he takes each one away. I am carried out of the thicket to the place where he left his shepherd's bag. The thicket behind me, I see a glowing in the east. A new day has begun. I see the meadow, the nearby hills, and a distant valley beyond the river. I also see the wounds this shepherd has suffered. His feet and hands are deeply punctured, and there are thorn scratches on his forehead. His hands and feet, from his bag, he takes out some medicine oil, and to my amazement, he pours it on my wounds, not his. His gentle voice soothes and comforts me. Soon, all of my wounds are clean and bound. I try to walk to show him that I am willing to go somewhere, anywhere he is planning to go. He will have none of it and lifts me up in his powerful arms. He begins to walk in long, rhythmic strides. I find it easy to rest my head upon his chest. Actually, it's hard not to. He is heading for the valley beyond the river. It is a long journey from here, I've been told. I find that though comforting, for that means I will be with him for a long time. All the dread, despair, and sorrow have vanished from my heart. I don't really know when they vanished. I just know that they're gone. In their place is peace, joy, anticipation, and contentment. Finding it hard to keep my eyes open, I drift into a restful sleep as he tirelessly walks on. Being a sheep isn't such a bad thing when you're in the shepherd's arms.
Thank you, Phil.
You want a drink of water? I do.
I almost cried. I cried a little bit, but
I started to. I kept the tears back.
that was a profound experience for me, and I hope that touched your heart as well. Because the truth of it is that we get entangled in all sorts of thickets. We get entangled, it could be an addiction, but it could be just entangled in toxic relationships. It could be entangled in memories of past trauma. It could be entangled in worry. It could be entangled in fear. So whatever our entanglements are, please know that there is a divine force.
Kleenex.
I got one. I got one. I'm prepared.
I gotta blow my nose. Sorry, I'll be right back.
There is a divine force that is here for us. And you know what's really amazing about this story, which really, really changed my heart, is the fact that in the thicket, there was nothing to do. The key was not to fight it. The key was not to get stronger. The key was not to find a way out. The key was to stop fighting. The key was to allow this divine being to come, this divine being to set me free. We fight, we struggle, we got to find the way, we got to figure it out, we got to have a plan, we got to know, especially with the new year coming on. This is time for us to get our New Year's resolutions and get our plans set and, our dream boards, and there's nothing wrong with those things. The key here is to surrender the struggle of it, to let go of the fight, and to allow this divine source who can do it so much better than we can to help us, to carry us. Let me tell you just a little bit about the carrying part. When I was just a little kid, we had family that lived in California, and we went down to Disneyland. And I think I had my first migraine at Disneyland, actually. And of course I was vomiting and couldn't stand upright. And of course the rides were not helping any. It was kind of a warm day. So my mom was sitting on a park bench with me, and some construction people came by. And they were just there to make sure everything was working right. And they said, "Oh, what's wrong with your little girl? Okay?" And my mom said, "No, she's sick." And they said, "Well, let's get her to the first aid building." We didn't even know there was a first aid building. And so Mom said, "Okay." And so she picked me up, and one of the workers said, "Why don't you let me carry her? Because, you've done enough." And so he picked me up, and I struggled just a little bit. And, but when he picked me up, I felt safe. I didn't feel condemned. I didn't feel criticized or, "Why are you ruining our day? You got sick. What's wrong with you?" None of that. None of that hireling voices. All I heard was this compassionate voice saying, "I'm really sorry she's not feeling well. Let's see if we can't do something about that." And as I allowed myself just to relax onto his shoulder, it was the same thing as in that story. I could feel that same feeling safe and feeling it's going to be okay. I remember waking up in a darkened room with a cold rag over my head and hearing my mom talking to the nurse in the background. And, I was fine. It was better after that, and went on to enjoy as best I could the rest of the day at Disneyland. But I will never forget that sense of safety. And I think as we step into this new year, I think it's time. It's time for each of us to allow ourselves that peace, that comfort of knowing that we are safe in the arms of the one that loves us, the one that cares for us with this deep compassion. It's not about get your life together and then come to Jesus. It's about Jesus came to me. Jesus came to me when I couldn't move. when I was stuck in the thicket of that old religion, that old guilt and shame and all of that, he came to me. And I think we can receive that same blessing, and we can step into the new year with a sense of safety, a sense of confidence, and a sense of strength that we maybe have never had before. And I hope this blesses you, and I hope that you can take it on, and I hope you can really feel the power of this. If you want a copy of the little story that was written, it's called The Rescue. If you want a copy of that, I'll be happy to get that to you. In the meantime, bless you. Have a very happy new year, and we will see you soon. God bless.